Welcome to the typical Skeptic podcast, where we dive deep, you decide, questioning the matrix, from UFOs, where the shadows unknown reside, Rob Khalil busting myths like ghosts in the night, paranormal pros, secret space ops, yo, we keep it real, no fright, typical skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies, aliens, Anunnaki, black ops in disguise, from abductions to ancient scripts, we flip the script, wide TSP style, mile after mile, truth can't hide. Hold up, TSP crew assemble, we dismantle the fable, my lab's targeted souls, breaking out of the stable, Dogman howling, Bigfoot prowling, cryptids in the mist, Mandela the fifth twist in reality, can't resist the twist, soul trap snapping, reincarnation mapping, holographic dreams, near-death visions, out-of-body missions, waking up the teams, no censorship here, we fear no elite scheme, conspiracy kings, ringing bells, hear the freedom ring, skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies, extraterrestrial.
Welcome to Typical Skeptic Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Welcome to
Hey guys, welcome back to another show. I'm really excited about my guest today. Today I have my good friends Christy Campbell and Dylan Fowler, and today they're going to be talking about their altars, Danny and Rayleen, memories of Montauk. It's going to be a really good show. I'm going to skip the small talk and bring them to the stage. So it's going to be really exciting. And here we go. And welcome Christy and welcome Dylan. And how's everybody doing?
Hey, we're
I'm
good.
doing great.
Yeah. So who wanted to start off? Christy, did you want to start? Like, how did you guys start putting together that you guys had memories together of Montauk and everything?
Okay, can I just say from the first show? Okay, so if you remember when you first interviewed me, I believe it was me and somebody who's actually tied to this whole pocket, whatever it is. I'm like at the point now where I believe like all of you, but it could be anything. There's so many things that I'm researching and doing, but lo and behold, through your show, by my voice, and my voice activated Christy's Rayleen, memories, and then it spun out from there, and she wrote literally 20-something pages of memories of me, Jacob, which is Arkeem, Jimmy, which is Joseph Powell, and Steve Shear as well, who's been on the show before. He also remembered me by my voice. I don't know what it is, maybe the vibration, maybe the frequency, because like I'm really trying to dig into it and figure out like more and more and more. And interestingly enough, not to go completely off topic, but the other day I was sitting at my counter and I was looking through some of the wonderful photos that Christy puts together that actually really opens up my memory bank, and not only that, but the feelings, and where it's not just getting on here and making myself sound good. That's not what this is about. This is about to help humanity realize that this shit is real. Pardon my language. That this is real. No way around it. Why would we have correlating memories? Why would somebody just pick up a pen and write literally over 20-something pages of memories and not even know the person, but maybe on your, like I said, I was on your show. So.
Wow. Wow. So it
Yep.
opens people up. Yeah, that's amazing. Like, and then Christy, talk about your side of it. What inspired you to write those pages? Did you just get flashback memories? Did it all start coming to you?
Well, after Dylan was on your show, then he was talking about the trip chair and mostly I think about the trip chair. And then I started remembering him and Jacob having us kids sitting in the trip chair and doing all the torture stuff like that to the kids that they had to do. So those memories was coming back. And then we just started talking more. I reached out to him and we started talking, and then I could see more stuff too as we were talking. And then we did some videos too, but we was both being really targeted and triggered and stuff by each other, so we just kind of took time apart as well. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and to heal or however too. And but during that time before though, he was Dylan was helping me, like he was doing like sending Reiki energy to help me remember some more of Rayleen and Danny. That's our altars there, our aspects there at Montauk. So, and I just had a whole thing open up and just started writing like 20 pages of from the beginning till so that's what I put together with the images. And just to kind of have a match and for someone to look at too, to feel the energy and everything, because it's kind of better to see a picture, that kind of helps you to see, and instead of just talking about it. So
Yeah, absolutely. And you can explain those pictures in the thumbnail. Those are interesting. Like, I know that some of it is like that starseed writing that you do. I love that stuff. That's interesting. But then
yeah,
also one is of the trip chair too, and then one is of you and Danny kind of like
yeah,
holding each other and like trauma. Like, talk about that a
yeah.
little bit, and then we can have Dylan talk about it as well.
Yeah, and I can show it too if you want me to just show it and we can talk about it as I go through
Absolutely. Yeah,
it.
you want to
Okay.
share your screen? Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I'll do that. And it's a took us 2 hours to get through it, but this is our first time the other day. So we'll get through it
Oh
fast
man.
now,
Wait, Dylan, are you okay with that? Is that going to trigger
Yeah.
something, or I don't want to trigger
No,
you?
Listen, man, you
it
know
won't.
what? I gotta face, this is reality. I don't preach unity. I don't have Project Unity as a group just to because, you know what I mean? I'm looking for notoriety. At the end of the day, if I reach one person, you know, if I don't, I'm still doing my due diligence. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm meant to do.
Yeah,
I've gotten past the programmers.
yeah,
And oddly enough, and I'm going to say this, and it might hurt or strike people in the wrong direction, but see, my experience is my experience in general. And when I came into this community in 2014, I was mocked. I was, put in a very bad place because people wanted to take advantage of who I am. You
yeah,
understand? And I'm not going to go into who I am because that's just neither here nor there. I'll
yeah,
take that one to my grave. But the
yeah,
reality of it is, is, you get through the healing, right? But there's people put in your life by programmers, hence programmers of like Preston Nichols. And I coincidentally, or not coincidentally, actually met
Oh,
James Ring first in 2014.
ah,
And he
wow,
used the Neo Cube and he activated some programming in me. And I feel like he was trying to steal my memories and he would not connect me with Peter the Insider. He put me down this whole rabbit hole, discredited me. It was all a program, but
yeah,
I've forgiven him. I've forgiven him. You understand?
lost the
Because
screen.
I know the programming is real and it's sad
yeah,
because we battle each other. No, we need to be out there battling the people who are doing harm.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. And I like the fact that you started Project Unity and you've turned a whole new leaf, man. Like you're like a different person now, honestly. Like you've been like completely different to deal with, like as far as like doing podcasts and stuff. Like you weren't bad before. Like I always liked you. And I always like, I always gave you a platform. You know what I mean? Like I never, you know what I mean? I tried to, because I know like I talk to a lot of people in this community and I know everybody's going through trauma and everybody handles it differently. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're all going through it. I don't even know if I have experiences and I'm going through trauma. I have 3D trauma that I can't heal.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. You can share it now, Christy, if you'd like or
Yeah,
whatever.
it was something was going on with it. So let me see. Y'all keep talking. I'm trying to get that pulled up because it had like 2 screens on there for some reason. I don't know why it put 2 screens on there. So let's see. Yeah, we did a show with this the other day, so but now we've seen it. So I just didn't know if what you see on my screen, if you see my whole
I'm adding
screen.
it. When it pops up at the bottom, I have to add it. I'm adding it. So now you should be able to do it. Yeah.
You
And
see
I
the whole
also have a
screen?
thing now, right, where I don't try to please people either. And that was my problem. I was trying to please people and trying to fit in, and that got me nowhere. I got to the point now where I say, if you don't like me, that's a you problem. That is
Yeah.
not a me problem.
Yeah.
That's something you got to work out with yourself. Maybe it's the
Absolutely.
reflection in the mirror. I don't
Yeah.
know, because I know I wasn't looking at the reflection in the mirror, and I'm a horrible person. I'll say that, because I do wrong every day, some way, some form or another. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
So,
But I also think
Okay.
you have a good heart too. I can tell, because I can read people's energy, and I feel like you have a
oh,
good heart.
nice. I appreciate that.
Definitely. Yeah. You wouldn't be here right now wanting to heal from it if you weren't a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Correct.
see, so we can and you can talk about all this too, Dylan, from because we already went through it the other day, so you can kind of expand on it too
Yeah.
with your memories and stuff too.
As I start to look at this, and I kind of look at the guy in the red, and obviously, I guess in one of the pictures that was Danny, he had a red mohawk or whatever. Like this is like some '80s type stuff, like Missy was talking about, and it's almost like Billy Idol. Like I sent Christy a picture of Billy Idol.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say you
Danny.
reminds me of like a new wave
That's
band.
Danny. Yeah, it's Danny. So this literally falls like into the '80s, like punk rock type stuff,
Hell yeah.
and it's interesting, very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
S-
deep.
Yeah.
Ju- yeah.
So this is kind of what we remember it being that time frame, that time, the era, or the however it was like the '80s. So that punk rock, the Mohawk, the anarchy, and all that was that's what the guys kind of were. But they switched around too, with according to their altars and everything. So sometimes they would have I remember like spiked up at times like that, because I remember seeing Danny with like a spiked up mohawk, and Jacob too, or then just
Yeah,
different looks. But a lot of anarchy, alternative, that kind of vibe.
yeah,
So I compiled some images of what I can see through the guys. That's what we mentioned too with Danny, Jacob, and Jimmy, and um, really those are the 3 that I shared the most time with. And then because there is James Rink and then Max Spears there, but they didn't have much interaction with the the kids much. Like
Yeah.
Max did stuff, but if he had to, or help out if he had to. And then James wasn't at this one, and then Danny would come over to help when there was like new kids coming in and everything too, when they had to do like it was like a performance ceremony kind of happening when all the new kids would come in. Like mine and Steve's age group was like age 7, and then so when we came in, then Danny and Jacob had to be the ones that stood on the sides of each kid had to go sit in the chair and get all kinds of torture done to them by Al, Preston, and Stuart. like to watch that, all of that stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but this, we can run through this really fast too. And Dylan, if you want to talk about any of it too, do you want to talk about any of these?
No,
Okay. So, well, this
not
is going to
really.
be a depiction of Al. He's like a mad scientist, you know, doing experiments and genetics and everything on all the kids, and mixing genetics for super soldiers, for monsters, and putting black goo, things like that. And then this is more of it was down here on the bottom is what I remember him, and it was like the basement floor, and it was like a drawer where he slid me in under the wall there, and it was like all it was just like a drawer, and I had like this much room, to, I couldn't even move, and he kept me in there for, I don't even know how long I was in there, but a while. So that's some of the stuff that they would do. And then of course the shackles there for any kind of torture stuff. The TVs, that's for the programming. And then they would also have those TVs on during, like, when they did the filming, all the perversions and everything for the filming. And then this here is representing splitting of the mind.
Okay.
And okay, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. Oh man.
So that's
Oh.
Preston. That's what we all remember him look like, as how he would drool, how he was always nasty, dirty, stinky, always everything just dirty and kind of greasy, like if his hands smelled like the onions, things like that. He
Was
never
he on
cleaned.
drugs?
I don't know. I don't know if he was on drugs. I mean, this is just showing how he would drool all the time, how he just was nasty and perverted. He drooled over the perversions of the boys, things like that.
Yeah. So he was definitely gay. Like,
Yeah, he didn't have anything to do with any girls. Yep.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
So none of, not adults. It's only children,
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
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 So this has a warning, so I know that some people are very sensitive to stuff like this. So just so you know, that it doesn't get any prettier, than
Mm-mm.
so. But
No.
he's a very messy person, always having electronics and things like that around.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes, he is a complete chaos mess. Wires everywhere, his desk messy, food everywhere, all that. And
Wow.
then yeah, so then this is going to be they would have to do the filming. The guys, they would make them film, and it's like the snuff films and everything, and it's with the in like a basement area is what I could see. I think I'm seeing through their eyes, or remote viewing it, or however, because the there wasn't I didn't go into these places. It was just Danny, Jacob, Jimmy, James, and Max that I could see in these places. And they had to do filming. They had to go out and go get girls just off of the street, I guess, or even guys too, and bring them in for the filming. And that's when they would do like the snuff films with them.
Jesus. Oh my God. That's insane. That's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
you guys wonder like if you like, do you guys feel lucky that you made it even out of there? You know what I mean? Like, do you feel like that, like you, there was a chance you could have possibly not even made it out of there? Or were they using you guys?
We
Yeah.
died many times, and just
Yeah,
regenerated
like
back.
Peter the Insider told me. He said, be blessed that you're alive. So, because I've been on so many different timelines, and historical stuff as well. I don't know if you got a chance to check out the episode I did with him, that I sent you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really revealing as far as it is. Yeah.
Okay, and then so this is just going to represent some of the soldier aspects and psionic abilities that all of us have. And then with the chair that they put us in, that enhances those abilities. And then we're able to open up portals and travel through there, through timelines, and manipulate realities, go to entire lifetimes, and then have to come back. You just go in and manipulate something and come back, or as a group we could go in and use our psionic abilities on a target and then come back, so it's manipulating timelines is what they really were wanting, for their own favors and good, for I think it's like the Draco, right? Dylan is the Draco that they were trying to.
Yeah, yeah,
Because the
Yeah.
Draco is who controlled the base and everything. Is that what you remember too? The Draco?
Oh yeah. I've actually seen a Draco up there. This was back around 20, maybe 16. I seen one,
Mm.
and I took off running.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I was, you know, you
Hmm.
know, uh, a lot of people look at Montauk and say, "Oh, it's all closed down." No, there's something going on there. And every time that I seem to try to dig into that uh, part of the topic, I always get attacked, and then a whole bunch of infighting comes my way, and I just rather, let things roll out the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Um,
And everybody knows the tower here with
yeah,
the radar tower there. And then this is just a maybe that's one of the rooms that has the basement or something. It's just a compiled from a whole, 3 images into one here, so you could kind of see. And it's like this is kind of what I would always see with the inside of where we would all kind of gather, this whole area right here. There'll be another picture so you can see it better. And
yeah.
then these are some
Mm-hmm.
of the, like, I was seeing that James, I was seeing this as an example of how James had to dress up for Preston for do videos. He would make him do all these just nasty stuff James had to do, and he was like a he could go back and forth to the bases and stuff, was like the manager, if you want to say, over the guys, but they didn't listen to him anyway, but he just liked that role. He liked to have that kind of status or something like that that felt important to him, because he was Preston's toy, basically, like a his boy toy or pet or however, and so he had to pay the price for being that, of course, and nasty stuff done to him. Um, so, but the other guys, they didn't. I mean, they might have had to dress up, but I saw James a lot dressing up in their memories. Seeing that remote viewing that and everything. But the guys, they would just kind of. Uh, I think that they probably gave him some kind of something to make him loosen up too, so, or maybe it was an altar. Maybe it was an altar that they put him in too.
Yeah.
um,
And then here's like this is
mhm.
just kind of like how they would have to pose for different uh pictures or videos. This is just an example, of how they, some of them had to be like in the top, the center, the guy there, having all kinds of different um sadistic things, on, and so those tools, toys, things, everything like that used on the other guys, nasty stuff. And then this
Wow.
is going to be just like the Montauk chair, an example, and then us looking at the wall and opening up a portal and then going through the portal there, so traveling through realities.
Wow.
And then this is an example of Al. be like, and he was like a mad scientist creating different genetics too. They would take our genetics and he would be creating different hybrids with the reptilian DNA or other DNA as well, because there was that Plum Island that was close by where they did all kinds of different experiments on, you know, many different chimera stuff washed up on the shore of, you know, various animals in one thing, you know, that didn't make it. But so some things were genetic experiments. And this is going to be how, you know, it's connected, like electroshocked or mind wiping or programming. So it's like connecting it to our head there, but it's sometimes like given like a bunch of it's like it almost makes it wipes your mind out, so you don't even, so you're kind of like a little bit cuckoo afterwards, you know, like you would almost need to be in a insane asylum or something, you know, like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest after they electroshock them, you know, like that kind of thing, where they don't, where his brain is fried, you know. So
Wait,
they
we
would,
got a question here, Christy. I don't know what. Okay, this is from Katie. I put it up on the chat. She says, "What is the thoughts on why he visited Preston with Susie Mesley?" She says, "I believe her name was then Estrella with the Long Canal movement." Do you know anything about this, Joe Dylan? Or
Well, the reason, okay, so he met with Preston, not too far from when I met him. Okay. When I messaged James, right? I mean, it was on one of his videos. I mean, I went outside for a cigarette. I was still living on Long Island. And he called me. I left my number and he called me within like not even 10 minutes. And the first thing he wanted to know was, am I ready to do a super soldier talk? Like he thought I had all the, you know what I mean? Like it was almost like, it definitely, now looking back, it was programming, because like I literally went into a really bad altar that was doing horrible things, sending females horrible pictures, you know, and not like, you know, that type of way, but other types of ways that I really like don't want to say what it is, but holding stuff up in pictures, you know what I mean? And also, you know, like it just it he got what he wanted, or Preston, I should say, got what he wanted. And kids I grew up with that are no longer here with us remember Preston when he lived in Central Islip, or it might have been East Islip, Long Island, New York. And I had some brief memories of walking down that neighborhood, and he would drive around literally a yellow school bus.
oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, like in the 90s now. Okay. The guy was not like all of what he put himself out. He was a horror show. Deprogramming to him is, you know what,
You know,
something
he
with a
reminds me
guy
of,
and a girl. You'd have to do that to deprogram in front of him, you know. And he had a basement, and he lived with his dad. I mean, I've met people that have talked about this stuff, even friends of mine that are no longer here. You
you
know,
know who he
they've taken
reminds me
their
of
own
is,
lives.
he reminds me of that John Gacy, that the clown killer, you know, that John
yeah,
Gacy. He reminds me
John
of
Wayne
him.
Gacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, he reminds me of that.
that's spooky. That is some. It sounds like there was some sick, crazy shit going on. You know, but
This is yeah, why I do not live on the eastern end of Long Island anymore. This is why I totally relocated. Like, um, it's no matter what, I'm gonna get even more targeted if I live there. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, with the frequency and stuff too.
oh, I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Yeah.
water too. Mm-mm.
So this is like the inside of the of where kind of everybody gathered. That's from what I always seen, like down here at the bottom, and then but it's cleaner and everything, and it's the ceiling is closed in, so you can't see out. You know, you don't know if it's night or day. You can't see out. And then up here, there's like a staircase right here, and then this would be like Jimmy and Jacob, and then Max Spears, their room is up all up here. It's like dorm rooms, kind of like that. And then there's the stairs, and then James Rink's room and office is down here, you know. And yeah, so that's kind of how I remember, but none of this is here. Like, it's not a railing, it's just like an over on down, and then down is like over on this side is like an elevator that goes down to the basement area, to where the kids like me, Steve, and other kids, we just stayed down there until we had to be until we had to come up, you know, for meals or work, you know, doing missions or training or anything like that. And then this is going to be some examples of how Jacob and Dylan, how they would have to go somewhere and release a lot of their rage with their abilities and stuff. They would just go and, you know, all the buildings and stuff were tore up. If there was buildings around the place, anything at all, it was just completely destroyed from them, you know, letting their rage out. These are just examples of what they would be able to do, you know. And so
Yeah.
this is the Stargate portal, you know, that we would all be traveling through as a team or by ourselves or sent through. Down here is Mars, so there's where we would be sent to Mars on missions. And you know, I remember being sent to Mars, and it was like a whole lifetime there. I got like I was there when it was around like 16 or so sent there, and then Jacob came back and got me. He said, "Your time's up," you know. And then I had a family, and I had children and everything there, and the time was up, and then that whole reality was taken away, and I was brought back to the base and to like age regress back to where I was that before, you know, when I left, and then that whole memory wiped of that reality. So that's one thing. So I think a lot of our memories, they get kind of split up, or like you kind of remember it in little fragments or so, because it's mind wiped from us. We remember it because we're starting to have memories of things as people tell their stories and stuff, but then but keep on pushing yourself if you can, you know. Keep on trying to really look and see, and get maybe someone to help remote view it or something like that, to try to help yourself remember more. And then this down here is like an example of the where you, if you was blown to pieces, then you could lay in this and it would reform a body with your consciousness in it there. And then stasis, you know, chambers here where or clone bodies, you know, they made a whole bunch of different clone bodies of all of us with different genetics, you know. And then an example of the guys there, and then I seen Stuart as a cross dresser for the films and stuff too. I was seeing he liked to dress up as a woman and act out too. So they like to do a lot of acting, like role playing, and it's just like one of those 80s porno videos. You know how they did a lot of acting and stuff? So it was a lot like that. And then the mirror is representing of splitting the mind. The TV, they would play that. It would be like a movie there, like a porno movie playing on there, you know, like just what the guys could be watching while the other things are going on too, you know. So like getting them ready, you know, for movie, for the filming and stuff. And then this person is just like watching it being programmed in front of the TVs. This area is, I was seeing like a remote viewing area, training and stuff, and maybe electroshock or injections and things like that going on. And so, Dylan, what was you saying about this place here? What did it look like?
Well, the bottom, I was walking through Camp Hero, and I can't remember exactly what trail. Like a lot of stuff was wiped from me because I went there and physically checked the place out, but it looked kind of like that. There was it was in the side of like of a hill, but it was on a hidden trail somewhere on Camp Hero grounds.
Yeah.
And I was walking through the woods and I dropped, and that's when I seen it was sealed off and all that. So, but yeah,
What do you think is in there?
definitely.
What do you think is in there?
I mean, what goes on below also goes on above as well. So, I do believe that they can bring some type of technology there and still use it, because I do believe that there's still some type of vortex that is around that area because of the whole Junior, what happened with Junior. And, it didn't end up too well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there's wide open portals all over that place, literally.
Yeah.
Like I walked on that property and it was raining in one side of me, and on the other side where I was walking, it was not raining.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Like really, 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 like, I mean, yeah. So it's healing for some people, but then it's very triggering for others. Like myself, the first time I went there, I had to run off of the property because I started having weird flashbacks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't go back for a little while.
Yeah. Well, so I was seeing too that they would make some films, like almost set up like different movie styles of like paranormal, and maybe having it was like a paranormal investigation kind of thing too, like that, but just kind of porno wise though, So they came up with different kinds of. I mean, I'm talking about Al Stewart and Preston, because the guys had to do whatever they were told, and then so they had to act out things or whatever. But the place was really haunted. There was like shadow figures and all that too, that they probably were trying to pull in and entertain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like down this hallway, it's like a shadow figure coming. So they probably saw something like that. These are just examples of things that I could feel or sense and see through, with the memories and everything too. And like there's some like that doorway that Dylan was talking about. Like this, it seems like there's like stairs that go way far down like this into where. I don't know,
like
it's really
different
scary.
levels, like different levels, like like
Very
different levels,
scary too.
sub
Very
levels.
scary
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's a lot of shadow figures and all that. It's
yeah,
paranormal stuff that would freak us out more than anything.
yeah,
It gives me anxiety looking at those.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So then I saw also that they, in this basement area, then of course, then they have this old like mattress box spring thing, like there on the floor there, but it's not. It's on the wall. They have it up, like nailed up to the wall so they can hold the guys up with handcuffs up there, put stuff on them, to make filming. Yeah. And then clone, like a cloning area. I didn't ever see this, but they do have clones of us and everything too, in case we go into battle and get blown to pieces or don't return or however. They'll have copies of us with the, our body, and then they have our consciousness copied too, so they can keep on using us for our abilities, for our DNA, because our DNA, it opens up portals and different places because of the star seed DNA or angelic DNA, from all the different places that we have aspects of ourselves. And this is a cryogenic chamber, they would and it could also reminds me also of age regression too. And just filming, they would have the guys would also just be, I was seeing like they had to do so many hours of filming too, you know, even when Preston and them wasn't there, then they would be expecting the guys to have films for them, you know, and they would get in a lot of trouble if they didn't have films, you know, like they had to already do that. I think I skipped the thing. And so this is you know, there's all kinds of like instrument stuff. A lot of times it gets destroyed or thrown or blown up, you know, but like I was seeing that
Hmm.
our team had an area like this, you know, or keyboards like this, and singing and recording, and they would always be recording stuff too. There's probably a lot of records and everything that's been recorded, or tapes or something like that, that they had recorded. And then there's always just all kinds of technology stuff that's old, it doesn't work, but Preston keeps it. He's like a hoarder, you know.
Oh God, yeah.
Hmm.
Ugh.
And so this is kind of how I was seeing. It's not 3 floors, it's just 2, and then it's dark like this, you know. So I keep on referring back to this vision of what it looks like from the floor up. And the cafeteria area where we would have to go, it was just us kids though. There's like 6 kids, you know, including me, and then it's where we just Jacob would bring us in there, and he just like sit down and shut up, you know, and then we go, they either brought us our food or tray, and then or we just got in line and got it and sat down. um and it was lunch ladies there, like a couple of them, you know, uh, and Jacob would scare them a few times going back there, and I would see that he went back there, and they was talking, and then all of a sudden like laughing, and then you just seen like the pot, a big pot like of beans or soup or something, just fly across the room, you know. So and then he just left, he just walked out and didn't come back. And so we had to just sit there for hours. We just sat there, and then the lunch ladies were going home, so they went and got Jacob, and he had to come back and get us. You know, he forgot. He went wherever. I don't know where he went. And then the bottom down here is Jimmy's like office room area. You know, his desk and stuff, and he's like severe high level of OCD, where
Yeah,
no one could
yeah.
go in his room. If you were in his room, you knew not to go in his room at all, because he would sense it, and he would know if anything is out of place. There, wouldn't go in his room.
Big time.
Yeah, and then this is like the cloning tanks and stuff. So for regeneration, you know, so if we went out in battles, and they just regenerated us if we was in a battle on the place there, because they like to do that too, where we would be, you know, in fights and stuff with each other, just seeing who could probably blow each other up or do those things like that too. You know, they would have us just for their own
Yeah.
entertainment. That's Al, and that's the old men, the Al Stewart and Preston, you know. They just like to see the worst stuff. And then this down here, it'll be a bigger picture later of the Montauk chair, and then we also had the different kinds of DNA that's innate, and then they would use those DNA's strand, like the werewolf, or if it was a lion, you know, things like that, where we could shapeshift in or use those abilities. And, you know, because that would open up portals and stuff like that. This was kind of like all of our moods and stuff. Like, we don't care, you know, none of us really were, all of us were kind of like that with our moods and stuff, you know. Um, but it was like we were all we had. So it's like a time loop period that went on that's like continuous for, I don't know how long it went on, but it seemed like we stayed at the same age range for a really long time, and then we go out on missions and come back, you know, so it's like a long time there. And they would take our body parts apart and then put like cybernetics or the black goo, so then we'd be able to shape shift and all that too. And the super soldier part, and I got a lot of these images off of Pinterest, that's why I put that there. And so this is like opening up a portal there and then going through, like they program us for a mission, then going through and then do it, taking out a target and then just going back in, and then their minds raced, so it's that fast. And then so the more of the experiments just kind of deeper there. Then Preston's, not Preston's desk, because you can see a clean desk here of what it would look like. But then after Preston got there and got a hold of it for just a few hours, probably it would be so messy like this. He's a freaking pig, like just total chaos all the time, messing stuff up, dropping things, breaking things, didn't know where anything was, and had all kinds of he's a hoarder, so he had all kinds of different machinery, parts and stuff on shelves, like here, like a warehouse looking thing, like a thrift store kind of looking place. Nothing worked and it just broken shit up, and so he would have the guys maybe see if they could do something with it, which most of the time it didn't, nothing pieced together. So but he just liked the guys to be in there, and he would talk to them, and that's when he would be like drooling and stuff and talking to them, and just freaking perverted, talk and stuff with the guys. And then this is just when we're out on missions, how we have psionic abilities, but we have injections of the ET genetics that is injected, or black goo. So we have different things that enhance our psionic abilities as well as our innate abilities to do missions.
Wow.
And then this is the Montauk chair with the electroshock, and then the tools. The tools is going to be for needles put in our fingernails and our eyes and whatever, things like that for torture. And the time portal there for opening up portal, going in. And this is a example of altars in the mind. So this is the main altar, and then all of these is going to be altars created by programming, through sexual trauma. Before the age of 5 or so is what usually has to happen, but so during childhood, and it's so where the mind can't handle what is being done to the body, so it just disassociates, and then they begin programming new alters.
How many altars do you think someone can have? Do you think people could have literally like hundreds of altars?
Oh, definitely so. And, because I think a lot of them get forgotten about too, because only a handler can access that one altar, because they have to have the code to bring it forward. And if that handler dies or anything like that, or just you don't need that program, the altar anymore, it just will sit there like an empty storage room. And then some of the handlers too, they can program subalters, so, and then only they would know about it. So if they wanted to program the person to bark like a dog when they see them or something, just for that, then they would have something like that too, just for them, that no one else would know about but them. So a lot of them just kind of sit there dormant. And so yeah. And then this is just talking about when all the kids, when my group of I think that's what, the main areas, the kids were brought down. We arrived in a I'll show the picture so it's easier for me to talk about it with the picture. So my group here is like 6. I came from that project Ibis, and in a van. It was nighttime, and then they was unloading the van, but then they were like, wait, where's the little thing to put the dolly thing, to put them on? we was all in dog cages. It was covered with a blanket, so we couldn't see. But then the guys, they found that dolly, and then Jacob started pulling the cart, and we went in the elevator down to the very basement, and then he told us to pick one of the there was already the dog cages inside down there too, so he just opened up the things and told us to pick one, and that's going to be our home, you know.
That's fucked up. That's so messed up.
Yeah. And so this is Danny and Jimmy, how, you know, examples of how Jimmy was more just quiet and just you know, he didn't have the same rage out as Jacob and Danny did. He held it in, you know, so maybe, I don't know where he let it out at, maybe on missions or something like that, you know. So he was more of in charge when James Rink wasn't there. He was kind of put there in charge, and Danny
What
was
was
from
James
another
Brink's
place.
role? What
He
was James Brink like? Was he like in a like did he have like a leadership role or something, or like what was like?
Yeah,
And he
well,
was okay.
he thought, you know, it really wasn't anything, because none of the guys give a shit about, because they were all the same age, but he was
Yeah,
Preston's pet. So Preston told him that he's gonna make him in charge. He just like promised him these things that never really were even real, you know.
yeah,
But you know, James, and I forget his name there. I can't remember it, but
Yeah.
I'll have to rewatch that video. But anyway, so but he had to do a lot of stuff with Preston, because he was thinking he was going to have those roles of being like a manager or something
yeah,
of the places, you know, like he could go to both of the places, or if there was another one, you know, to all of them, and then kind of be there, and then tell the younger people kind of what to do. They listen to him, but not the guys his age that came in at the same time he did, because they all came in at the same time, you know, with
yeah,
his age group, and wasn't they wasn't having it, you know.
yeah.
And then Jacob. So Jacob and Danny are a lot alike in their temperament and how they're explosive, their behavior, meltdowns, rage out. They didn't hold it in. It was let out. And
Can I
you
just
know,
say something, Christy? This is amazing that you were able to profile them like this. You know that you remember.
yeah,
This is
mhm,
really cool.
yeah,
I mean, it
yeah,
wasn't good for them though. It's horrible. It's horrible they had to
yeah.
go through. But like, it's crazy that you were able to remember all this. It's
Hmm.
amazing. You know.
Yeah, and I've
Yeah,
met with Jacob and Jimmy and Dylan, all three guys, and you know, to confirm it before, just to go over the things and just to see if this feels right, if is this right. And even with James, you know, I we had a on the Super Soldier Talk, we did a video together talking about Montauk, and several of those videos and on Super
yeah.
Soldier Talk.
Remember James did the Montauk tour. I remember.
Hmm.
Did he? I remember he did that. I remember that's when him and Brian Singh were friends, and Brian Singh
Yeah.
went to that, and like
Hmm.
a bunch of people went. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. And Alex, you know, for Andrew, I mean Andrew went there too. And now
Yeah.
he does
Yeah.
the Super Soldier Talk for James, you know. And
Mm.
but I don't remember seeing Andrew. His energy isn't here at any of these memories that I have. So he wasn't here at this. And these are our memories. And, you know, some people say, oh, I don't remember them to be like this. But, you know, these are our memories. They're not your
Mhm.
memories. You wasn't there. You
Yeah.
know, like that. So when people say stuff like that,
People
like
don't
they,
understand. They run their mouths
yeah,
and, they're know-it-alls. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like
yeah,
I've had, and I'm going to say it because you know what? I have a lot of respect for the late Max Spears. Terry Joyce had me on her show. I was wearing a mask at the time. She got a kick out of it. Stephen D. Kelly turned around and said that, oh, kindergartners, they don't use in these programs. Yes, I remember what happened to me. Yes, I do. I grew up with handlers, real handlers that was into witchcraft, rich people from the Hamptons, horrible
Yeah.
people, and cults.
Mhm.
This stuff is real, no matter what anybody says out there now, because over the years, people are like, oh, he's always changing his story. Well, I wasn't getting the right answers.
Yeah.
And no disrespect, it seems, since
I mean,
we'll
you
just
have
say the
different
late
alters.
James Ring has been gone. I have been getting more of my memories now.
Yeah.
I'm just being real. So I feel like maybe there was some type of programming going on there where it was, there was a block.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be memory suppression or something like that. But
So, I
I mean,
mean,
but you operate in different, everybody kind of operates in different alters. So you could be a nice and sweet person and then be triggered or wake up the next day and be a different alter. So
of course.
when you're disassociated, when you have DID, then it's not going to be one complete whole person. You're not a whole person. You have many identities and you're going to operate in those identities. So that's how it is, and they would change their identities all the time to with the altar, so if
Hmm.
one
Yeah.
altar was a female altar, then they would be dressed up like a female and talk and act like a female and think that they're female, so that's how altars are. um and then
And I also, yeah,
this is going to
yeah,
be like
wow.
the black goo that did that is put in, and then I seen also that there's uh beings or consciousness grown in with that, the nanotech, so it's like uh all kinds of different things with that, and then inserted into realities too, to take over that whole reality. So there's different stuff going on, like the maybe similar to the Matrix, where they're programmed um, as from the start, from the breeding program, forced breeding program, where they take our DNA and then make hybrids out of them with other splices of uh, reptilian or grays or all kinds of different DNA that they want to use as an experiment or to fit their needs.
Yeah.
And this is all the black goo, how it makes you rage out. You can shapeshift into many, you can make yourself, it's programmable. So it's like the nanotech, and it just makes a person, they want it for also flying ships and making ships. I've seen like a whole ship can become you, and you're in the ship, but the ship is you too, with that black goo, like forms the technology, so it kind of moves with you as well. And then this one up here is like he has a wolf, and then all kinds of different things that come out of him too.
Mhm.
But it gives you really a lot of psionic abilities.
Yeah.
It's powerful. And then we're so given
Yeah.
injections and all that being grown in it. And then this is one of the Draco, an example, of a Draco, and then what they're wanting is our genetics, and then making hybrids, and then putting the black goo, programming us, and then taking a lot of those out and to do missions and stuff like that. More of that. I'm trying to hurry up to get to the Rayleen part, because this kind of repetitive, of course. Just super
It
soldier,
is.
super soldier
Yeah.
training.
Oh, no.
And then we have angelic DNA, so that's why we are used, in these programs, because of our DNA. It's a time loop there, pocket reality. We talk about pocket realities, time manipulation too, um, angelic DNA, the Draco reptilian. Uh, they're seen there at the base, and they can look like a human, and they can cloak themselves. Black goo
Hmm.
technology. the trip chair, Montauk chair, then the goo, different kinds of goo. I'm getting to Rayleen part, Danny.
This is a lot. Holy shit.
I know. So this is going to be Rayleen. This is going to be my aspect Rayleen, and this is after I got there around age 7, and then this is around, I think around 9 or so, they moved all of us in. I remember seeing Steve too in the cell. It's like a jail cell. So part of that area was looked like a jail cell kind of room too, with a single bed and no windows or anything. It's gray, no dresser or nothing like that, no toys or anything. And so we would get out of the room to do missions or open portals, do things like that, because we have altars. And then so during this time though, then I was seeing that Preston was telling Danny, he always likes to drama and stuff like that to play off of, and likes to break people's hearts too. He loves that feeling of getting them really mad about separation and stuff. So he was telling, I guess he was allowing Danny to come over, or Danny would come over more often, but he was able, none of the guys were monitored or anything like that. They could do whatever they want at the base and stuff. There was no parental supervision, nothing like that. So they could do whatever. And, he could have stayed however long, but he had to do his own work because he wasn't from this base that I was at. It was from another. So he had to get back. So he would come over when he could, and he would come to Rayleen's room and bring her a teddy bear, and inside he would put like a little keychain thing that recorded voice messages and stuff for her, so she would listen to that while he was gone, after he left and stuff. And so I remember that, and and he would come in and read books to her too, bring books because he could bring stuff, and nobody questioned him or anything like that. He would be reading books, and it wasn't, I don't think it was programmed, nothing like that. It was more just them bonding together too. And I know it was being recorded as well. Everything is being recorded anyway, for stuff for Preston and them. And so I know that they had to do, they had to give their genetics, and in that way too. I don't know how to say that without getting the video banned, like that. So I just, and then because Danny was like the 15, so he was still a kid too, and she was around 9 or so, so she waited for him. She was like in her cell, and she was like depressed and stuff when he wasn't there, and she never knew like when he would be coming back, anything like that. And he didn't probably either. He only came over there when he could, because he might be out on a mission for a long time, and then and then come back when he can. So that kind of that was something that was being monitored though, is what Preston monitors that. He likes to see that kind of because that again is all that they have, that's except for going out on missions and stuff, which that's in another altar, and then when you come back, then you have the close connection with someone that's allowed to happen, and then it's a lot of trauma and depression when they're
Computer started. Listen to this. Listen. Look. It froze your voice and it started repeating it over and over again, and it's going crazy. Listen, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to shut it off. It's new. Someone sent me this. Like, it's this small little computer, and it's going nuts. I don't know what to do. Listen, look, it's frozen.
It sounds like an autistic person just saying no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
I don't know
no,
what I got
no.
to get this out of here. I got to turn this off somehow. Like, I don't know how to turn it off. Like, I didn't mean to interrupt the show, but like, what? No, like,
I don't
wait.
hear
You know
nothing.
what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna leave it. Oh, fuck. I don't
Can
know.
you turn it down?
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
don't
go
hear it.
outside. I'm gonna go outside. Let me grab my.
Mm.
I mean, I'll just let it. I'll just let it sit there. I don't know what
Is,
to do with it.
is our
Honestly,
screen frozen or no?
no,
No.
no. It's just the
Okay.
whole computer just went nuts. Like,
Yeah, it happened. It shut down the other day when I was talking because it's intense to talk about this, you
I'm
know?
just gonna
Oh
mute. I'm
yeah,
gonna
they
mute
don't
myself,
want
and I'm gonna try to fix this while you guys are talking. But
Yeah, Dylan, you tell about what you remember with this and stuff, you know?
to. Oh man.
Because you said you had
Just
some memories.
yeah, there was like a really serious connection there. And I feel like I do remember when we had the whole class together, and I opened that portal right before I left, before you didn't see me ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually hoping that you were going to literally not come back and find your way and escape out of that
Oh,
Montauk timeline
mm-hmm.
somehow, some way. But Jacob figured out how
To
to
open
get
it
you
up.
back in. Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, so the like I remember Danny would say like I don't know when I'll be back, or how long, like you sometimes had to just stay just a little bit or whatever, like so it's different things. And I noticed that he would do this too with Jimmy later on. So I remember Jimmy stuff first with this and then with yours. So it is the same thing. And then Preston would be getting a kick out of this,
Of course.
yeah. And then what else it says right here, just emotional bonding, feeling protected. And if you would ask, like, is everybody treating you good? Is anyone, doing anything, like you would make sure. And so
Yeah.
then,
Well, it was funny the other day. I was sitting there, and I don't know if it was a vision, but she showed up
oh, okay. Yes.
and told me she was proud of me
Oh,
for
yeah.
changing and finding my real self.
That's good. That's helpful and healing too, Yeah, and then so this is
Yeah.
like at the
Yeah.
lunchroom. She didn't bring her bear, and then she also it just made her with the red just to show us the character, sticking out and stuff. But she would wear whatever everybody else is wearing. And the kids mostly they wouldn't be eating there with the teenagers anyway, So it's just showing an example of her thinking like when is Danny coming back. And then you would come back, and then she'd be happy then. And then you were saying that you don't know how long you're gonna be gone or when you're gonna be back, but it was kind of like it was a feeling or something that things are starting to change, like something with that. And then you were showing this was like a picture in the wall. You opened up like a portal thing there. It wasn't like where you could go into it. It was only like just a picture you was showing me, like
I could see things.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a moving image and stuff.
I almost want to say like it was like I gave you some type of access to like seeing me when I wasn't actually there.
Oh yeah, that
Like,
could be.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That's what I've
Mhm.
been coming up with. Yeah.
Yeah, can see that. And then these are different times, these are different times where you leave and come back, leave, come back. And then this is during the classroom where you come over to train us kids and to how to open up a portal and so that's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And then you was showing me more like in the room and stuff too, how to kind of do it. Um, I don't, I didn't feel like I could go into this one in the room. I don't know, maybe you didn't, I don't know. It's like you didn't tell me to or something with that. I don't know. But you just kind of showing me maybe how to do it or something. Maybe this is
Hmm.
just another
Yeah.
picture
I
of
was
something.
showing you exactly how to do it. Yep.
Yeah. And then, but in the classroom though, then
Mhm.
we did do it. We opened it up, and then you held it open, and then all of us kids ran into it. It's like at the park or someplace, and you were like, go on, go ahead, go on, go play and stuff. And then you closed
Yeah.
it. You closed it up. So
Yep.
we were gone, and
We were hoping you were gonna get out of it. Yeah, and Jacob
yeah,
got really mad.
Jacob.
Oh man.
Yep, Jacob
Oh
came up.
man.
It's like, where the fuck are all the kids? And then you don't say nothing. You just
I
walk
just
out.
didn't care, like nonchalant.
Hmm. Yeah. And so then he just blows up everything, like whatever was there, just like blows up, because he doesn't know what to do yet, like because all the kids are gone, but you're leaving and you don't care, and he knows he can't do anything to you, and then so then he eventually figures it out. We're back now. This is like an example of us, all the kids, and then uh so we got, of course, we got in trouble, but we don't care. We don't really care, it's
No.
yeah. It's like nothing really bothers, like even if we get in fights and stuff, and hurt or whatever, it just doesn't even really, we just don't get hurt that much. um like the pain doesn't hurt, and then this is
No.
later. So this is when Jacob, he was leaving there, so he wasn't coming back, or leaving on a mission or something like that. So then this just shows Raylene when she's a couple of years older or so, getting older and doing more missions, like the super soldier stuff, going on missions and by herself and things like that. And then so now Preston has her paired up with Jimmy, and he's training her on missions and stuff like that. And then sees they're connecting and does the same thing with them, So he likes to see that drama of separating the two, of bond, this a trauma bond together, and then the separating of them that he likes to see. So that's the end of that. I don't know if Rob came back. I couldn't see there. Did Rob come back?
Yeah.
I'm here. I came
Oh,
outside.
oh, okay.
I, I
Yeah.
I finally figured out how to shut down the computer, and I came outside to smoke a joint.
Oh,
I was like, that was crazy, man. That was a crazy attack. Holy shit! I don't know what it was. It was messed. It was weird for sure.
Yeah.
yeah. It was because
Yeah.
it did that
But
before.
this was a great show.
It did
Yeah.
that the
Oh
last time
yeah.
too.
Can you guys hear me?
Shut down. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
It shut it down before too. So it's just our energy because we're looking at the intense. Like there's a lot of stuff we could say more of it, but we'll get it
Oh.
the video taken down.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
So
We'll
taken
learn to
completely
say. Yeah.
down.
yeah.
If you ever want to, like, we can do a Rumble only show where we get or one thing we can do. What I do with some people is like we can start on YouTube, and once we get an audience, we can take it over to Rumble. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah.
there's a
You're not. I can't hear you. I can't hear Rob. Can you? I can't hear
No.
him.
Can
Yeah.
you hear me now?
Yeah, I
Can you,
do. Uh
you
huh.
can hear me now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I was saying, what we could do is we can start on YouTube and then go over to Rumble, and a part of it stays always on YouTube, but then once you can take your audience over to Rumble for like
Okay.
more like.
Content. Yeah. Okay. It keeps freezing up, so if you wanted to wrap it up and everything too.
Am I cutting
But
out?
thank you all for watching and tuning in and everything too. And I didn't see any questions related you in the
No.
chat. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So thank you all for watching. And so did you want to say anything else, Rob? Were
No,
you?
no, this is great. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Where are
No,
you
this was a
going?
great show. What's that?
Are you just walking around outside?
No, I came outside just to get some air because it was, yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
no, yeah, it was a great show. Like I said, I don't know, I think I'm cutting out half the time. I think you guys can.
Yeah, it is cutting out now. The two just did so. So okay. Well, I'll talk to you later, Dylan. Talk to you later, Rob. And thank you all
Okay,
for
good
watching.
night, everyone. Thank you guys.
All
Good
right.
night.
Okay.
Later.